Hello and welcome. As you're joining, we're gonna give it a few minutes before we get started, so just hold tight. I see that people are already joining the webinar already, so give us maybe just about 1 minute so that we can give everybody a chance to join and then we'll get started. So just hold tight. Okay, well, I think we can get started. No problem if people join a little bit later. I still see some more people coming in, so welcome to everyone who just joined. So we're going to get started and jump right in. So welcome to our joint presentation between HEC Paris MBA program and the Yale School of Management. We're here to talk about our new dual degree, which is a fantastic opportunity to study at both institutions, graduate with a diploma from both institutions. So we're going to jump into the details here, give you more details about each of the programs, what you'll be doing at each of the schools when you're there, a little bit about application, a little bit about what we're looking for. And then, of course, we encourage you to get in touch with both Yale and HEC Paris to dive deeper into each individual program and about the application process. So to get started, I'm happy to introduce myself. My name is Allison Brown, and I am one of the marketing and recruitment managers for the MBA program at HEC Paris. There are actually three other people who do the same job as me, and we each cover different regions. So our jobs are to help you with the recruitment process, to navigate the application process, to give you tips, and help you out with your individual profiles. So we're really happy to get in touch with you, whether it's me or one of my colleagues. We're all here to help you. And I will turn it over to my colleague here today to introduce herself.
Thank you, Allison. Hi, everyone. It's so great to see you all here today. As Allison mentioned, we're really excited about this new partnership and program that we have between HEC Paris and Yale SOM. So I'm here representing Yale SOM. My name is Evelyn Wilson. I'm the Associate Director of the Management Master's programs, one of which is the MAM, or the Master of Advanced Management degree, which we'll be talking about today. A couple of housekeeping rules or guidelines or just a little bit of housekeeping, maybe I should say, is that we will be holding time at the end for Q&A. So if you have questions, we're definitely here to help answer anything that you might like to ask. If you can hold on to your questions until the end and ask them through the Q&A feature of the webinar, then Allison and I will do our best to answer your questions at the end. But hopefully we might even answer some of those as we go throughout the presentation. So keep hold of those until right at the end, and we'll be happy to answer questions that are left remaining. We will also be posting in the chat the brochures for both the HEC MBA program and the SOM MAM program. So please feel free to download those and take a look at them after this webinar as well. And hopefully there will be some more helpful information about the programs there for you as well. So without further ado, I'm just going to give a quick introduction about the M2M and the other application pathways to the Yale MAM program. This can be a little bit confusing, so I just kind of wanted to give a little bit of background about the different application pathways to the Yale MAM program. So today we're going to be talking about the M2M pathway, which I'm going to go into a little bit more detail in a moment, but just wanted to highlight that there's another pathway as well to the MAM program, which is basically just applying directly to the MAM program through our website. And which of these pathways you will fall into really depends on where you are in your academic journey. So for those students who are still looking to apply for an MBA program, you would be able to apply through the M2M pathway and basically applying to the HSA MBA and the Yale MAM program at the same time in the same admissions year or cycle, and you'll receive an admissions decision from both programs and both schools in the same admissions year as well. If you have already begun your MBA, or maybe you've even completed an MBA, then again, you can apply directly to the MAM program through our website, just applying to this program on its own. both pathways can be a way into the MAM program, and the one that would be suitable for you really just depends on where you are currently in your academic path. So the M2M pathway, again, is a way for you to apply to two different programs at the same time. So you're applying to two master's degrees in two countries and at two different global business schools. The first year of this M2M program will be spent at HEC doing your MBA program. The second year, you will come to Yale SOM to complete the Master of Advanced Management program. This is a concurrent degree program, so all of the credits that you earn in the MAM program will transfer back to HEC, and at the end of 2 years, you'll graduate with both degrees. So again, if you choose to apply through the M2M pathway, you'll be applying for both your MBA and the MAM at the same time. And we'll talk a little bit more specifically about how that process works later, but you'll be applying to them at the same time in the same admission year and receive your decisions for both schools and both programs in the same admissions year as well. I'm going to pass this back to Allison now to talk a little bit more specifically about HEC and the MBA program there.
Great. So now that everybody's excited about doing 2 degrees at 2 schools, I'm going to back it up a little bit and talk about a little bit about the history of HEC, just in case you aren't aware of our history. We were founded in 1881. There are about 4,500 students on campus, so it is a real campus. It's not only the MBA program. We have master's programs, PhD programs, executive education programs. So you have a lot of resources to tap into on campus. HEC is known for our tradition of excellence, and we are very proud that we have been ranked number 3 for educating the greatest number of CEOs of Fortune Global 500 companies. That should just be a little bit of an indication of who's in your network when you're graduating from HEC. Something else that we love to talk about is our campus. We have a beautiful private campus. It's about 300 acres. It's all walled in, so it's very safe. It really promotes a community feel from day one. We're located about 17 kilometers outside of Paris in a town called Jouy-en-Josas. So important to know that you won't be studying right next to the Eiffel Tower. However, that does mean that you get to benefit from a real campus feel. We have residences on campus specifically for MBA students. I would say about 90% of our students choose to live on campus, at least for the first half of their program. It definitely makes your life a lot easier, and it's pretty fun to be a student again, and really, take advantage of late night study sessions, or I know that students have done outdoor cinema nights down by the lake, and we have barbecues. So it's a really nice campus to take advantage of. But that being said, you also have all of the resources of Paris right at your fingertips. We have shuttles that go to and from Paris every day, so it's easy to pop in and out of the city. And this allows you to take advantage of networks like Station F, which is one of the largest startup hubs in the world. And so our students are often at Station F for courses or for club events, sometimes for internships as well. So it is very easy to make use of Paris as well. And just talking a little bit more about campus, in the next slide, we'll show you some photos of the campus. On the top photo, you'll see the S building, which is where all of your MBA courses will be. This building is really dedicated to MBA programs. So this is where you will spend most of your time on campus in classes or for club events. The photo in the bottom left corner is actually our chateau, the HEC Paris chateau. So if there is any way to make you feel like you are doing your MBA in France, it is to do your program somewhere where you have your own chateau and you have welcome cocktails at the chateau, or different events. I saw that the LGBTQ plus and Allies Club did a drag show actually at the chateau. I think it was probably the first time that HEC's ever actually had drag happening at the chateau, but it was a wonderful event. And then on the bottom right, you see just one photo, one image of the many walking trails that you have on campus. So if you're somebody who would like to benefit from a little bit of green space while you're doing your MBA, the campus is a great place to be. Jumping into what the class looks like, who will you be learning alongside of? Because this is a really big part of your decision when you're looking at your MBA or just programs in general. I think a big part of what shapes your experience is what the class looks like. This is just a snapshot of the class of 2024. We do have two intakes, a September intake and a January intake. For this specific double degree program, you do need to be in the September intake. So just keep that in mind. The September intake tends to be around 170 students and about 90 in January. So that means about 250 students in the MBA program per year. You can see a breakdown on the map here of where everybody's coming from. It's one of the most diverse MBA programs you can find. We typically have over 50 different nationalities. And it is 95% international, which means that if you don't have a connection to France just yet, or maybe you don't have roots in France, you will not be the only one. Most people come into the program discovering France as a new country for them, or they don't have French language skills. So just know that you will not feel like you're the only one if you don't necessarily have a life in France just yet. Other stats to look at, the average number of years of work experience is 6 and the average age is 30. These are just averages. Half the people are above, half are below. We do require a minimum of 2 years of work experience, but once you hit that minimum, there's no one right time to start your MBA. Don't hesitate to talk to us if you have any doubts or questions about your timing. There are about 38% women in the class. We are striving very hard to increase this percentage every year. We need more women. So we definitely want to encourage you to apply. We always try to privilege women in the application process and absolutely with special scholarships just for women. And then one last stat that I will give you now, but we'll dive into a little bit deeper later, is that our average GMAT score is 690. We do also accept both the GRE, and recently we also decided to accept the executive assessment. However, keep in mind, I believe that Yale does not accept the executive assessment on their end. So stick to GMAT or GRE if you want to keep the door open for doing this double degree program. The 690 average, again, just an average, half the people are above, half are below. We see a range of scores admitted, so please don't hesitate to reach out to us to talk about your specific score. We're here to help. Okay, so you know who's in the class, you know what the campus looks like. Next big question is, what will you actually be doing while you're at HEC? So here you can see a little bit of an overview, light overview of the schedule. For your first year, starting in September, you'll spend 1 year at HEC doing your core courses, elective courses, and throughout that year, you will be focusing, of course, a lot on careers, between career workshops, and we have really our own career curriculum. And I will leave Yale to dive in deeper afterwards, but just to show you a little bit of a snapshot of what your second year will look like. So diving a little deeper into the HEC curriculum and what you'll be doing while you're here, you'll be completing term 1 and term 2, which is the fundamental phase of our program, which means that you're laying that foundation, you're taking those core courses and developing general business skills, no matter what industry you're coming from, no matter what industry you're targeting to go into after. Everybody will really follow the same path here. Again, laying that groundwork, honing finance skills. Even if you're working in finance, you'll approach it from a different angle, learn in a different way. And maybe you've never taken a finance class before, so maybe you're also bridging gaps here. While you're working on your core courses and developing your leadership skills as well, you will also be completing the New Horizons capstone, which the New Horizons capstone is a mix of your own personal capstone project, so a business problem that you're defining, that you're developing a solution for throughout your program, but also it's accompanied by modules, and there will be company visits in the modules, maybe company projects to work on. We don't want to spoil too much the upcoming company visits. We try to keep that secret until you're actually here. But they're really interesting, unique projects and unique companies and unique business challenges that you're presented with to kind of help you develop your own strategic thinking skills and develop your own capstone project at the same time. In term 3, you will be focusing on choosing electives. There are a lot of different kinds of electives. There are intensive short electives. We have very unique electives, things like spending a weekend at a monastery in France. It's also a great moment to maybe start developing an expertise in something, like maybe you want to go a little bit deeper into marketing. Okay, then great, you can take lots of electives that are related to marketing while you're here. Um, and of course, this is only a snapshot of the curriculum. In the next slide, I want to introduce you to a whole nother big part of your experience at HEC, which will be student life. Again, I mentioned that we do have housing on campus. It's a great way to set yourself up for success from day one. If as long as you do everything you need to do and apply for housing by the time you need to apply, there's no reason you shouldn't be secure housing on campus. A lot easier than securing an apartment in Paris, I promise. And again, it's fun. We have great facilities here in the photo on the right. You see, this is actually our rock climbing wall on campus. We have great sports facilities, both indoor and outdoors. So if you have sports that you're interested in, it's easy to keep that up. Um, we do cultural weeks as well, and there are lots of events happening, like the talent show. A lot of our students are part of the TEDx series and actually give talks themselves. And then, in addition to all the fun things that you're doing, you're also going to do other fun things, but that can be maybe a little bit more professionally channeled by participating in clubs. So clubs are going to be a really big part of your experience. It's a great way to explore maybe an industry that you're curious about or want to learn more about that you're possibly considering going into. Or, maybe you absolutely want to target consulting after the program. That's a great way to start making your company connections, learning more about different companies within the consulting industry. And there are so many events going on all the time. They can be really fun. And also, I do know plenty of students have, made connections during these club events that have turned into jobs afterwards and job offers. So never underestimate the value of participating in clubs while you're here. So I had mentioned that while you're here, you'll also be participating in a career curriculum. Because MBAs are professional programs. They're for professionals. You already are coming in with professional experience. So I know the Career Center always struggles to call you students. They want to call you professionals. So at HEC, we have a 3-step process: know yourself, know the market, and match yourself to the market. From day one, you're assigned a career coach, and he or she's there to help you really navigate a career switch, because most people are doing an MBA to make a big pivot in their career. So maybe it's a new industry for you that you want to target after the MBA, or maybe you're not sure what industry you want to target. They're there to help you explore and understand, where you might have competencies, where your interests and values might align with different industries. The Career Center as a whole, and not just the career coaches, the Career Center is also there to create opportunities for networking, opportunities for recruitment as well. So we plan a pretty aggressive career schedule. I'll talk about that a little bit later, but just maybe going to the next slide, we'd like to show you a snapshot of all the different companies that are at HEC every year. Again, this is just a snapshot. There are over 350 companies on campus recruiting our MBA students every year. But I think it's notable that you'll see here that there's no one industry. You have luxury, you have finance, you have lots of tech companies. Really, students are going into all kinds of different industries after. We're not a program that is just channeling students into one specific industry afterwards. There's a lot of diversity into the program and a lot of diversity out of the program. So I will end on the next slide. I gave you a little bit of a teaser that we have a pretty aggressive recruitment calendar. All of these are events that are hosted and organized by the Career Center. It's their job to keep up with companies, understand what they're looking for. It's also their job to make sure that the companies with whom we work understand the value that HEC students are bringing. I just want to note that there is recruitment happening all over the world. These are not only companies that are based in Europe or have jobs based in Europe. Really, we see companies recruiting for offices all over the world or coming from all over the world. So it's definitely worth keeping up with the career fairs, even if you think okay, I want to go to Yale afterwards, so my target is to stay in the US. We can still be of help. Definitely, it's still worth going to our career event. So this was a good introduction to the MBA program at HEC Paris. I will turn it back over to Evelyn now to introduce you to the program at Yale.
Thank you, Allison. That was a great synopsis of HSA and the MBA program, and I'm definitely happy to supplement it with some more information about Yale and the MAM program here as well. So here you can see Evans Hall, which is the School of Management's building. It was opened in 2014, so everything is state of the art. And it's also a bit of a juxtaposition to the rest of the Yale campus as well. I have a few pictures to show you later, but the Yale campus is very historic, and the School of Management building is quite different to most of the other buildings that you'll be surrounded by here at Yale. So to give you an idea of the community and a little bit more information about Yale SOM, our mission here at SOM is to educate leaders for business and society. And this is definitely something that we really take to heart, and we try and have be present in every element of life here at SOM. So we're really aiming to develop leaders who are able to think critically about the big issues that business leaders are facing today, and to be able to consider multiple perspectives in finding solutions. We really want to bring students who have a deep sense of purpose in the work that they do, and that really makes SOM a great environment to connect with other students and other people who also have this sense of purpose and are doing really incredible work across all disciplines. So the environment here is really special and something that we work hard to cultivate. To give you a few facts and figures, we have 49 members of the MAM class of 2024. So it's a small group, which really is nice. It's, the MAM cohort generally has a very close, tight-knit feel. So it's nice to kind of have a smaller cohort of students, although you are also part of all of the programs and all of the students here at Yale SOM, which is about 900. So it's smaller than HSA, but we do have 6 different degree programs here at Yale SOM, and you really are able to connect with students across all of these different degree programs each and every day. You'll be sitting in class next to them, you'll be interacting in clubs or social events outside of the classroom every day. So it's a really great opportunity to connect with others who are also at different stages of their career journeys, because we have both pre and post experience programs, as well as executive education and PhD programs here at Yale SOM. You'll also be joining a community of alumni, over 9,000 Yale SOM alumni and over 200,000 Yale alumni. So we really have a very extensive network spread across the entire world. And our alumni are really engaged. They love connecting with Yale students, helping them along their way. So no matter what industry you're interested in or where you're looking to go in the world after the program here, you're going to be able to find alumni there who are willing to help. We also have 104 full-time faculty here at Yale SOM. And one thing that we love hearing from our students is how they really get to know the faculty members here, and they're so accessible. I think this is also something that can set SOM and Yale apart from other universities, is the accessibility of our faculty and how engaged they are with students, and they love getting to know our students and working closely with them as well. As promised, here are a few pictures across Yale University. We don't have a chateau, so you're going to have to go to HEC to get that experience. But we do have some really beautiful buildings here on our campus. And pictured here, you can see in the top right-hand corner, one of the many libraries across the university. We also have dining halls that look sort of similar to that. Students often say that they look like they're from a Harry Potter film or something like that. So you can kind of imagine the really inspiring architecture that you'll be walking into every single day, and just enjoying being in a really beautiful place to study and spend a year of your life. There's actually a really great virtual tour of the Yale campus online. I wish I could show it to you here, but I really encourage you to look it up after the session if you're interested. It's really, it's a great representation of what the Yale campus is like. So definitely recommend that. So why take the MAM program? Once you have your MBA, the MAM program can really offer you some additional opportunities. Um, it can share the opportunity for extraordinary depth and also extraordinary breadth. So if you have an interest or something that you're really looking to take a deep dive into, this is a great opportunity for that. I'll talk a little bit more specifically about our curriculum in a moment, but the point here is that it's a very flexible curriculum. So you have the opportunity to determine what you'd like to study here at SOM and at Yale through the MAM program. So if you have an interest area that you really want to learn more about and again, take a deep dive into, maybe entrepreneurship or sustainability, this is a great opportunity to really focus in on that area and learn from some of the world's greatest industry experts. You are able to take classes across the university, not just at Yale SOM. So for example, if you're interested in sustainability, you can take classes directly from the School of the Environment, the Yale School of the Environment, from leading industry experts there as well. So it's a great opportunity to really basically become an industry expert yourself through this program. On the other hand, it provides you an opportunity to explore new interest areas or ideas as well. If you have something, a topic or an interest that you've been wanting to study your whole life but never really had the opportunity for, this is it. Again, as I mentioned earlier, you have the opportunity to study across the entire university. So you can take classes at the School of Drama, the School of Art, the Divinity School, the Law School. The opportunities are really endless here. So again, it's an opportunity to kind of explore areas that you might be interested in but never had the chance to study before. You're going to be adding 2 networks and 2 brands to your resume here as well. So, of course, HEC is a wonderful global business brand, business school that has an extensive network that we just heard about from Allison as well. So you're going to have that from your MBA, and you're also going to be adding Yale's network and Yale's brand to your resume as well through the MAM program. As we talked about as well, this is a great chance to kind of explore the next stage of your global career. HSA and Yale both have connections all across the world and in every industry. So we can really help you to think about how to achieve the next step in your career through these 2 programs. You're also joining a community of purpose. So I mentioned our mission to educate leaders for business and society, and that we're really looking to bring students who have this deep sense of purpose in their work. So you're going to be joining this community where everybody is like-minded and looking to help achieve something better and better society through the MAM program and the HSA MBA. So it's really a wonderful community to be joining. So let's take a look at the class of 2024. As I mentioned, we currently have 49 MBA graduates representing 19 different countries of citizenship. 96% of our students are international passport holders. So in a similar way to the international MBA program that HSA offers, the Yale MAM program is the same. Most of our students are international. Many of them have never come to the US before, so you're definitely going to be at home here with other students who may not necessarily be very familiar with the Northeast or with New Haven. So please don't worry about that. It's a very international population. We have 27 different MBA schools represented, 14 of which are GNAM or Global Network for Advanced Management Schools. The average age of our students this year is 31, and we have about 35% women this year. Again, this is definitely a statistic that we're really hoping to improve upon. So I really hope there's some women out there today who are listening and are getting really inspired by these programs, because we would love to have you join our programs here at SOM. 94% of our students speak 2 or more languages, and the average amount of work experience is about 7 years. So again, just like at HSA, some of our students have more, some have less. There's no right or wrong time to start this degree, but this just gives you an idea of what our current class looks like. As promised, I'm going to share a little bit more specifics about our MAM curriculum. So we only have 4 units of required courses. This is spread across 2 different classes, which you can see at the top of the screen here. Both are in global leadership. The first is topics in business and society, and the second is personal and interpersonal effectiveness. Apart from that, the entire rest of the curriculum is up to you. It's very flexible, as you can see, and you really have the opportunity to study whatever it is that you're interested in. Think about what skill gaps you have and what you'd like to really focus on while you're here doing your MAM program. But it's very flexible and it's designed that way to allow you to kind of build whatever it is that you're looking for through this program. As I mentioned earlier as well, you have the opportunity to take classes outside of Yale SOM. So we offer classes at any of the other graduate or professional schools across across Yale University, as well as the Graduate School of Arts and Sciences, on top of the more than 170 electives that are offered here at Yale SOM. So you really can get a picture of how much scope you have here in developing your own curriculum and focusing in on the areas that you'd like to dive deep into or you'd like to explore, or both. The opportunities are really limitless in terms of what you can do here. So at Yale, we also have lots of different ways for students to get involved and participate outside of the classroom and meet people and network as well. So just to give you an idea, here are a few ways that students like to get involved. The first is through clubs and organizations. On the top left-hand corner, you can see a picture of our ice hockey club. This is one of our most popular sporting clubs for students to join. Many of the students that you can see there will have never put on ice skates before, so there's no experience required, but it's a really fun way to basically meet new people, try something new. Of course, ice hockey is a popular sport here in the northeast of the US, so it's kind of a cultural experience as well, and definitely one of our most popular clubs. We have plenty of other sports clubs as well as professional clubs, affinity clubs, geographic clubs, really anything you can think of, we have here at SOM and also at Yale. We also host conferences each year. So in the center picture at the top, you can see a picture from our healthcare conference, which again runs every year. Students are on the leadership team, so hosting a conference is a good opportunity to take on a leadership position if that is of interest to you. We also have case competitions that students like to join. Pictured in the top right is a winning team, a winning case competition team. So that's definitely something that students like to participate in each year as well. Moving to the bottom row, on the bottom left-hand side, we have a picture of our Friendsgiving dinners. So each November, around the holiday of Thanksgiving, our school will host a Friendsgiving. The entire community is invited. We put out these big long tables down the hallways of our school, and the chef at SOM will cook a Thanksgiving meal for everybody to share. And it's a really nice way for the community to come together and just enjoy a night feasting on delicious food. In the center, you can see a picture of our orientation program. Right at the beginning of the, or before the beginning of the year, during orientation, we take the entire cohort outside for a half day ropes, like team building course. And this is just a really fun way to get to know your new classmates and who you'll be spending the rest of the year with in your MAM cohort. And then finally, in the last picture, we have a picture from our International Food Festival. So as I mentioned, we have some geographic clubs, and students in each of these clubs will host a table at this International Food Festival and bring food and drinks traditional from their home country for a really fun and delicious evening as well, to try foods from all across the world and have a really great community evening as well. I'm going to pass this back to Allison to talk a little bit more about the application process.
Yep. So now that we got you very excited to attend both HEC and Yale, we're going to start with the HEC Paris application because this is actually where you'll start in your application journey if you want to do the dual degree. You'll start with applying to HEC Paris first, indicate that you want to apply to the Yale dual degree program, and then we'll pass your application along to Yale and they will respond with what they need. But I will let Evelyn cover the Yale side after. So we have a rolling application basis, which means that we have a deadline once a month. So that means we are recruiting for about 10 months for each intake. So for example, for the September intake, we usually start recruiting in August or September of the previous year, and we'll go into recruitment having one deadline per month up until about June. So you actually have a pretty long application cycle. We have a 5-week process, which means that you will submit your application on a deadline. If you submit before a deadline, that's absolutely fine. Just don't be surprised if nothing happens to your application until the deadline. Then within about 2 weeks, your application goes through a pre-selection jury. You'll know whether or not you're pre-selected to move on to the interview process. If you are selected, you will have 2 interviews to do with 2 different alumni, and you have about somewhere between 1 to 2 weeks to complete these interviews. Then your application plus the interview feedback will then go through a final admissions jury. And so you will have an answer from us within 5 weeks of the application deadline. And then 1 week later, you know whether or not you have been awarded a scholarship. And then you have about 4 weeks on your end to make a decision as to whether or not you want to confirm your seat at HEC. Looking a little deeper into what we're looking for or what we require, actually, thank you. So what we do require is an undergraduate degree. It can be from anywhere, just an undergraduate degree, a minimum of 2 years of work experience. We do require either the GMAT or the GRE. If you have not attended any part of your studies in English, or if you're not from an English-speaking country or a native English speaker, we will ask for an English test. I definitely encourage you to look at our website to see all of the English tests that we accept and their associated scores that we're looking for. We accept a lot of English tests, including the Duolingo test. So definitely consult our website for more details on the English test. And we will require 2 professional references. Since I said before that this is really a professional program for professionals, we do want the references to be professional, not to be academic. We can always talk in more depth if you have questions about maybe who the best person is to choose as a reference. And then those are things that we require, and then things that we're going to be looking for, and that can help really strengthen your application. First is international exposure. And the reason that we ask for this is that we have such a diverse class. We have lots of different nationalities, people who have worked or lived in 4 different countries, speaking multiple languages. So what we're really looking for is, will this candidate thrive in an international environment? So if you haven't had the opportunity to live or work outside of your home country yet, know that that is absolutely fine. We do admit plenty of people who haven't had that opportunity yet. One way that you can show international exposure is by talking about international teams that you've worked on. Maybe you work with international clients, even if you're based in your home country, but working with an international community in some way. I think that that goes to answer the question of, yes, absolutely, you will thrive and you will do great in an international environment. So it's definitely worth including on your application. Next is that we are looking for leadership potential. I want to stress the potential part of this because I think it's absolutely understandable and common that for people who are applying to an MBA program, it's at a time in your career when maybe you haven't had management experience yet, or you're not in a position of leadership. That's absolutely understandable. We know that you're seeking to do an MBA or a master's as a pathway to leadership. So again, just the potential there that we're looking for. I think one great way to show this is by coaching your references. I think it's even better to hear about your leadership potential from your references than even from you directly. So if you can maybe remind them of some examples of how you've really stepped up and been a leader at your job, in your company, I think that that speaks very loudly and effectively to your leadership potential. Next is your motivation and career objectives. So we will be spending lots of time looking at your CV and your career objectives. There's no one career objective that we're looking for. We're not looking for everybody who wants to become a consultant and work for Bain after the MBA program. be authentic, stay true to your career objectives. You can also stay true to telling us that you're not 100% sure what you want to do, that you're considering maybe consulting, but let's say you also enjoy working in the tech industry right now. And so you also can see yourself maybe pursuing a brand management role for a large tech company like Google, Meta, Microsoft, for example. So, don't overthink the application or the questions or what we're looking for. Honestly, what we're looking for is just you to be authentic and honest. So again, there's no one right career objective that we're looking for. And lastly, I had already mentioned your CV. Your CV will be a very big part of your application. We're looking to see career progression. And similarly to there not being one career objective that we're looking for, there also isn't one background that we're looking for either. So we get lots of questions about non-traditional backgrounds, for example. For us, we love non-traditional backgrounds. We love the diversity that voice that experience adds in the classroom. So some examples that I can give you is that currently we have a farmer in the program who is running a 400 cow dairy farm in Florida before he came to HEC. And that's one of the most diverse profiles I can give you. We have professional athletes. We have somebody who is actually an MBA player. We've had professional musicians. We've had scientists, singers. We really have had all kinds of different profiles, and they do great in the MBA. They add a very unique perspective to the classroom. So even if you don't have what maybe a lot of people consider a traditional background, we still want to see your application and can get very excited about your background. It's also great if you do have a traditional background. We do admit lots of people who are coming from consulting backgrounds, finance backgrounds, engineering backgrounds. It's also important to have people who do have maybe a little bit more experience in business in the classroom as well. So no one right background to come from. We will be looking at your CV as your CV, not compared to other CVs. Your career progression, your career path is yours. And I think the HEC Paris admissions jury really does a good job of privileging you as an individual and looking at your holistic application. So there's not one part of your application that's more important than another. And lastly, I will say that we do have 5 essay questions. I know that we ask a lot of essay questions compared to other MBA applications. The reason for this is that fit is a really big part of our admissions process. We're a small to medium-sized program, so each and every individual in the program does make a big difference. Have fun with the essay questions. Some of them are very creative, be authentic, and again, don't overthink things. There's no one right answer that we're looking for. So now that you know how to apply, question of when to apply. So we are still recruiting for September 2024. So if you're interested in joining the September 2024 intake, please know that we would be happy to see your application in the upcoming deadline. So we have about 4 deadlines left, one coming up next week. We did adjust the March deadline. In case anybody is in the application process right now, we're changing our application portal soon. So don't worry, just don't be surprised if the application portal looks a little bit different next month, but none of the questions should change, just the format will change. So in red, these are the application deadlines for which you can apply and get the quickest turnaround for an answer from Yale. Because for us, it will always be a 5-week process, regardless of which deadline you apply for. But to be aligned with Yale deadlines, the dates in red, excuse me, are the ones that you want to target if you want to have a really quick answer for both programs. I won't say too much about this because I will let Evelyn share a little bit more. And one last note from us is that there's no difference in terms of the deadline in which you apply, whether you're in the first one or the last one. The admissions jury will really be evaluating your application in the same way. And the last slide now, before I turn it back over to Evelyn, is that we do offer scholarships at HEC. They are merit-based scholarships. You're automatically considered for most of the scholarships. at the time that you apply, and you'll apply for scholarship at the time that you submit your application for admissions. Don't hesitate to reach out to us if you want to talk about scholarships. And also, please do know that we do work with different loan providers who specifically lend to HEC Paris MBA students. So we can always talk to you more about those opportunities. So I think that covers the application process for HEC. I'll turn it back over to Evelyn.
Perfect. Thank you, Allison. That was a really helpful overview of how things kind of work with HEC and to kind of connect that to the Yale side as well. As Allison mentioned, those of you who are interested in applying for the double degree program, the M2M with HEC MBA and Yale SOM MAM, you will begin your application with HEC. Although we do have an application on our website, that is for students who have already begun their MBA or completed their MBA and are only applying to the MAM program. For the double degree program, again, you will begin your application with HEC, submit your application there, and indicate to HEC that you are interested in this double degree program with Yale. They will then send us your application materials. So you can see our application requirements on the screen here. Everything apart from the professional letter of recommendation, the video questions, and of course, and the application fee will be sent to us directly from HEC. So you don't need to do it again. We will then reach out to you to request this additional information and to share a link, which you can click to submit your video questions. The video questions, I want to put your mind at ease. Sometimes students get worried about those or a little bit nervous. There's no need. We really just use this as an opportunity for you to come alive as an applicant, come off of the page for us as the readers to get to know you a little bit better, to think about how you approach things, how you approach problems. There's no right or wrong answers. I think you get about a minute, you get a prompt and then about a minute to kind of collect some thoughts. And then the videos will record for about 90 seconds and you just kind of respond to the video prompt. So no need to get worried about them. Just be authentic, be yourself. And it's kind of a fun way for us to to get to know you a bit better off of the application page. The professional letter of recommendation, we will also ask that you get your recommender to submit this letter directly from them. Please don't upload it yourself. We're really looking to hear directly from your recommender. We also require the letter to come from their professional email address. So we don't accept personal email addresses like Gmail, Yahoo, QQ, any of those. It really needs to come directly from their professional email account. And then of course you pay the application fee, and then we also have an interview by invitation. If you are invited to the next stage of the application process, you will be invited to interview with either myself or any of the other members of our SOM admissions committee. Then, as Allison mentioned, you'll get your decision released from HEC within 5 weeks. We at Yale have 4 different rounds that we stick to, so that's why we highlighted in red in the previous screen the deadlines, which most closely align with HEC's decision releases. So you'll receive your admissions decision letter from HEC and then also from Yale SOM. So we know that the that the MAM program is a significant investment. It's an investment in you and in your future. And we really want every applicant to know that we work very closely with each and every admitted student to make sure that this program is a possibility for you. So we also have scholarship opportunities. Each and every admitted student is assessed for a merit scholarship with your application materials. So no need to submit any additional materials. Everybody will be assessed for merit right away. And you will have your merit scholarship decision or award directly in your admission letter. So you'll know right up front if and how much merit scholarship you've been awarded. We also have need-aware funding available for students who would like to apply for that after you've been admitted. And we also work with international student loan providers for anyone who still has a gap in funding that they'd like to fill, as well as on-campus employment opportunities. So again, the bottom line, please don't be deterred by the sticker price. Apply if this program is of interest to you, and we are really dedicated to working with each and every student to make sure that this program is a possibility for you. So with that, we can wrap up. We have a couple of QR codes on the screen here. The one for the Yale School of Management takes you to our website for the MAM program. And I also want to highlight the email address that we've listed here, advanced.management@yale.edu. This will take you to our admissions team. We check this email very regularly. So please don't hesitate to reach out with any questions at all. We love hearing from candidates. We're happy to help answer questions or talk through your application with you. So please don't hesitate to reach out. And maybe Allison can talk to the HSA portion of the screen as well.
Yes, thank you so much, Evelyn. So for us, I'd like to direct you, if you haven't already done so, to fill out and submit a Connect with Us form. This is on our timeline. This was the pre-application part. It's an informal step that you can take in order to get some informal feedback immediately from us. And this helps us to stay in touch from there. So it will actually be your dedicated regional manager who reaches out to you. It could be me or one of my colleagues. But that way from here, we can invite you to participate in calls with us. We can let you know when we're coming to your city. We can invite you to different events that are happening. So this is really the best way to get in touch with us and really get some informal feedback in the meantime. The QR code should take you there. And just maybe a little bit of a heads up that because we are changing our application portal. It will also change this portal soon. So you should be able to access this link and this QR code in the next few weeks. But just don't be surprised if you're redirected to maybe invited to a different website afterwards. If you ever have questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us as well. But we would love to hear more from you. We'd love to hear your profiles and keep in touch with you from here.
Great. Well, we do have a few minutes left. If anybody has any questions about either program or the M2M pathway, please feel free to use the Q&A feature now, and Allison and I will stick on for another couple of minutes to try and answer any of those questions live for you. While we're waiting for some questions to come in, maybe I didn't mention before what the admissions team at SOM is looking for, but I can actually say that we are very aligned with the HSA process as well. We're not looking for any one thing, but we're looking for leadership potential, international experience, career experience, and career goals. So there's lots of ways to stand out to the admissions committee at SOM as well. We take a very holistic view of reviewing applications, and there's no one thing that we're looking for. So again, be authentic, just like Allison mentioned for your MBA application. We're looking for the same thing at SOM. Just let us know who you really are and what your goals are, where your experience has led you, and that's definitely a way that you can stand out to the admissions committee.
Great. Well, maybe we can actually stay on the topic of admissions because we have a question. I am way more younger than your average admission age. Would that affect my application result? I'm happy to answer from the HEC side first, and then I'm sure Evelyn can answer from Yale. So for HEC, as I mentioned before, there's no one right time to start your MBA. When we give averages, I always remind people that that means half the people are above that age or that number of years of work experience, and half the people are under it. As long as you meet the criteria for a minimum of 2 years of full-time working experience. So that 2-year minimum is really intended to be post-undergrad experience, so not necessarily an internship, for example. As long as you meet that minimum, I've seen people not only successful in their application, but also very successful in the program and recruiting outcomes afterwards who were on the younger side in the program. So for us, there's no minimum age. If this helps, though, I'm always happy to kind of give a general range of maybe ages. So I think on the younger end, it tends to start around 25 years old. Once in a while, we have somebody starting at 24, turning 25 in the program. And then again, there's no upper age limit, but the upper end tends to be somewhere around late 30s, 30, 39. But again, there's no limits or minimums. So I think there's always a good argument to start your program when it's right for you. So maybe I'll let Evelyn speak to Yale's view on that.
Yeah, I think Yale has exactly the same stance, basically. We're just obviously the requirement is that you have taken your MBA program, which you would have fulfilled by taking the MBA at HEC, and also that you have some work experience. And again, HEC has the 2-year work experience requirement. So I think that would fulfill our requirements as well. We're not really looking at age as something that you need to have a certain marker or have achieved a certain age yet. We're really looking at your experience and your academic history as well. So I don't think you need to worry about that if you're younger than kind of what our average tends to be. All right, we don't have any other questions at the moment, but feel free if you have any other questions out there, please feel free to ask them. We're happy to stay on for another minute or so and see if any more come in. Um, okay, let's see. There's another one here. Somebody who's been accepted to UBC. Okay. Uh, Okay, this is a question specifically about another program that we have. So I'm actually going to connect with this applicant offline if that's okay. Thank you so much for joining today to learn more about the HSA program and the MAM program that we have with HSA. But I'm very happy to connect with this applicant offline to keep our questions kind of streamlined to the HSA double degree program here. Okay, well, if there's no more questions, thank you so much to everybody for attending today. We were really excited about this joint program that we have between HSA and Yale SOM. So we're really excited that so many people joined to learn more about it. And please don't hesitate to reach out to either program, either through our email that we have here or the form that Allison mentioned for HSA as well. We always love hearing from students or potential applicants and candidates to just review your questions that you might have or more information about the programs to make sure that it's the right fit for you. Thank you so much for joining today. Hopefully we'll hear from you soon.
Thank you everyone so much for joining, and we hope to hear from you as well, and happy to give any advice that we can give you and help you along your application journey.